This is like our Father's Day show.
Yeah, it's our Father's Day special, but just a little late.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
And I'm Tony.
This is the show that starts with us talking, continues with us talking, and then finishes with us talking.
And it's longer than you think. So strap in.
That last one was very long.
It was like hour 45. That should never happen. Nobody should have to listen to us talk for almost 2 hours.
Almost as long as the movie. So what we do on this show is we talk about a movie. The movie we're talking about this week is one that Tony picked out. It's a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie. I know you don't like that, but it's a Father's Day movie. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We're recording this at an appropriate time. It will not air at an appropriate time, so I do apologize for my miscue there. But happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah. What's the movie?
That movie is, of course, Getting Even with Dad, one of those classic dad movies with Ted Danson, Macaulay Culkin, who's like not quite a child anymore, and, you know, borderline teen type of deal.
It's great stuff. 1994, an hour and 48 minutes. What is this, a year or two after Sleeping Alone? What's that movie?
Sleeping Alone? Home Alone?
Home Alone, that's what
Sleeping Alone. Home Alone was 90, so 4 years?
4 years, so he's...
But then, I guess, I wonder when Home Alone 2 was, 91, 92? 92 was Home Alone 2, so this is 2 years after Home Alone 2.
So he's rocking some hairdo, like, you know, some teeny bopper hairdo.
He's a greaser.
Do you want to talk, before we start, about Ted Danson's comedic / acting / chops?
Well, you know, it's interesting, right? Because I haven't watched Cheers in a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was great on Cheers. And then he's great now.
He played a very specific character on Cheers. You know,
I guess, Sam is, sure.
Very much like held together, just like... Okay. And the other thing you got to remember is the writing on Cheers. Very good writing.
On point. Yeah. Very, very good writing.
You know,
but then, like, I feel like now he's good too, right? Like, I loved Becker. Was it Becker? Becker, the Doctor Show. That was great. The Hell Show is great. Or Heaven. No, spoiler if you haven't seen it. Don't Heaven or Hell. Who knows? Haha.
The Good Place.
The Good Place. Thank you. So, I mean, I think that I like him a lot. He's not very good in this movie. Comedically, I will say. You know, I think he's fine in like the heartfelt moments. He does okay, right? But he doesn't have that zing that this character seems to need. Especially with his two dim-witted buffoon friends, right? Like they're like all zany and bouncing off each other. It's very different movies when you're with those two than when you're with the main two. It's a weird movie.
So basically the premise is...
Oh, right.
He's a criminal who's working on a big score, and his wife died, and so his sister or her sister, somebody's sister.
It's his sister.
His sister was raising the kid. Not sure how that works legally.
Well, because he went to jail. So
yeah, but I mean, then when you get out of jail, I mean, I guess you make allowances for that when the person's in jail.
Maybe don't give the kid right back to the guy who got out of jail. Yeah, I don't know.
So the kid gets dumped on him, and the kid wants him to be his father. And so to make this happen, the kid steals the money that they've stolen and then forces the dad
to hang out with him.
To hang out with him.
Now, I mean, what a lovely movie.
We watched another movie. What was that other? Blank Check.
Blank Check, yeah.
That kid, at least, you bought that he was living life. You know, this kid's like, let's go to art museums.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that it's definitely written by like middle-aged men, right? It's just like, oh, let's go to the ballpark. We'll go to a shopping mall. We'll like they're not kid things. There's like yeah, you're absolutely right. The stuff that he buys in that movie, Blank Check, unbelievable. I would love to live there. I would love to do the thing, like the big boxing thing that he gets. It's a very fun. Like the kid's having the time of his life, and I agree. I
Yeah.
would love to live in that house. I don't want to do 90% of the things they do in this movie.
Okay.
I do not care.
And they sort of montage them in a way that they're just kind of like sort of wacky and sort of like,
Well,
yeah, we're gonna here's like a 1 minute montage of us spending some time. Well, we'll get to all the things, but it's this isn't like a great experience, that he's going to the aquarium. Look, a fish.
Yeah. Yep. Fish has lips. I don't know. It's just it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think the premise of this movie could be very fun.
Sure.
Like when you just explained it right there, it's like, yeah, he forces him to hang out with him and do all these kid things and they bond. That's cute. I should cry. I should be crying at the end of this movie. Spoiler alert, I'm not. I do not care. It's tough. One thing I would, and I love Macaulay Culkin, so I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I have a hard time believing him as a child who's having fun. And I just think part of it is like maybe he didn't have a childhood, and so he doesn't really know how to have fun like that.
So you're looking at him as the actor, and he can't act the role of a child who's actually having fun, or
I don't know.
the converse, not having fun. He's very even.
Yeah, and that's not what you need here.
Yeah, he does never really seems that emotionally invested.
No,
in getting back with his dad. Like when he at the end, he's like, "I'm getting back on the train, on the bus and leaving," and he's like, "Yeah, well, that's what happened.
Right, see you later." Yep, that's what happened. There we were.
Well, one of the other kind of major threads of this film is that every character knows the plot of the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like Macaulay Culkin's character at the end has, staged how he wants it to all work out. And he's not afraid that it's not going to work out.
Yeah, no, he knows it's going to work out. He's all good. He's seen the future. You're absolutely right.
And then we have the female character that comes in like halfway through the movie, and she literally at every stage just reiterates the exact plot. Maybe this is exactly what's happening. That I have no way of knowing this is exactly what's happening, but I can tell it's exactly happening.
She's a very good detective, Dan. Okay, she's picking up on clues that you don't see,
and she's on probation.
Right. I didn't understand that. Did they say why she's on probation and what probation means? Because she's still doing the cop job. Like she's still a detective. I don't understand.
I thought we were going to find out she was a criminal, and so like to become a criminal, she had to be a police officer to at probation. I don't know.
That wasn't it. And then they said a couple times that she's on probation, and then she wasn't. At the end, he's like, "Your probation's lifted. You can keep doing exactly what you've been doing the whole movie. Great job."
That was like my favorite part. So we start off, an old lady dies, and she had a bunch of rare coins. These coins need to be appraised. And so Ted Danson and his two wise guy friends, like basically three New Yorkers that for some reason live in San Francisco, but still think they're living in New York City.
Yep, 1,000,000%.
Wearing suits and looking like characters that are from a different movie walking around.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love that he says it's a $60 silk tie, by the way. I mean, that's a regular tie now. Just regular ties I buy are like $60. If I bought a silk tie, oh my God, that'd be like $200.
You paid $60 for a tie?
What do you pay for ties? I mean, you got to get decent ties. I'm going to Macy's. I'm going to Express Men,
I mean, the only suit I have Oh, I didn't buy my suit at Goodwill, did I? No, we went
I
to
bought a suit at Goodwill.
I would definitely buy a suit at Goodwill. Oh, no, I did buy a suit at Goodwill. Yep.
yep. I got it at Goodwill.
Got it at
Oh, good for you.
Also got my bathrobe at Goodwill. $19.
Really?
Yeah, it's fairly terrible. The pocket's very small.
Dan, I just have a question for you really quickly.
Yeah.
Because you bought essentially something that you wear naked at a place that's like used clothes. How do you feel about that?
They were all brand new.
Oh, okay. You know what? I take it back. I apologize. I didn't know.
Yep, there about 15 of them, all brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would wear. I don't think I'd buy a used.
No, it's what my sister's boyfriend one time. They went and bought Halloween. They were buying their Halloween costume, so he went and bought a sweater from Goodwill.
Sure.
And didn't wash it, and just like put it on and wore it home. And we were all like, dude, get that, go watch that right now. That's weird. He didn't last very long.
Oh, he's dead?
He's not dead. He got dumped.
Oh,
no, he's not dead. Yeah, we killed him. We murdered him that night. He only made about 2 hours into trick-or-treating before we offed him.
There it is. So boom, they're smoking, they're eating pizza. And his plan is to, as they're leaving they're leaving one place and going to the appraisers, I guess. They're going to steal the gold coins. Yeah. Somehow they know the exact path these gold coins are going to be taking. Okay.
He's a criminal.
We set up that he has a girlfriend, sort of, but she gave him a plant, and so he cut her off. And then as the movie goes on, we spend more and more time with this plant, and we keep on, for the first half of the movie, we keep expecting Nadine to show up. Nadine never shows up.
Never shows up. This is a throwaway gag that lasts the whole movie, which, you got to applaud that tenacity. I appreciate that. But what's the point? Nadine has to do something at some point, right?
I mean, he should have just said, once you put a name on a character, we're expecting that character to be something. He should have just said,
"Yeah,
oh, remember that one girlfriend you had that gave you that plant?" And then he looks over at that plant disdainfully. He's like, "Yeah, I got rid of her, but somehow I can't get rid of that plant." You got to give something like that where we don't think she's going to walk in the door later on in the movie, because that sits in the audience's brain.
Because they bring her up 4 or 5 times by name. Like when the new girl comes in, he's like, "Oh, Nadine gave him this plant, but he can't give it." Like, well, who cares? Who cares where the plant came from, guys? I don't understand. I feel like the only reason the plant is in the movie is because at one point someone wrote the scene where the plant falls out of the window and almost hits the woman, and they're like, "Well, where would he get a plant? This guy wouldn't have a plant on his own. I bet he got it from an ex-girlfriend."
That was one of the only almost good jokes, was about the plant being murdered, right? Wasn't there a decent joke right there?
Yeah. There's a couple of good plant jokes. Maybe someone was just obsessed with plant jokes. Because I also enjoy just the bit where he's like, once a woman gives you something to take care of, you got to run away. That's it. The relationship's over. It's a good character moment, but,
just skip her name.
Just
Leave
skip
the
her
plant
name
in there.
and don't bring it up 4 or 5 times. I know Nadine's name. I don't know the main detective lady's name.
Teresa.
Teresa. I remember. Ted Danson does say it. No, you're right.
And she might have a different name. That might be a fake name that he gives her. She gives to him. I don't. It seemed like someone else called her a different name at one point. I was
okay. So maybe like her real cop name might not be. That's her undercover character name. Okay.
I think I don't know. There was someone seemed to call her Hector Elizondo. I think at one point I thought called her a different name. Maybe called her by her last name. I don't know. So he's a cake.
We don't know.
He's a cake decorator. And he learned cake decorating in prison, and basically he wants the money from the job so he can open his own bakery.
Yeah, what a weird little storyline that is, huh? He's like, I took a class in the joint, and now it's my absolute passion in life. Okay. That's great.
He also wears his hair. He has a terrible ponytail, which
Is it? It's
is
not real, right?
distracting.
It's
No,
fake. You think it's
all his
real?
hair
You think
is
he grew
no, it's
this?
fake. Totally fake. All his hair is fake.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like when it's up, you can't really tell. But the one scene in the movie that he has it down, it's like normal hair, and then like a poof, and it's definitely just woven in there. What are you gonna do?
So here we meet Timmy, who's Macaulay Culkin's character's name. The Timmy thing,
Weird
very
name.
painful name. Very, very painful name. He's there with a character actor and his aunt, and he's being obnoxious. And
Is he? All
sort
he's
of.
doing is filming in the back seat, and this guy's just yelling. The kid's not doing anything until he gets on the seat, which is another thing we have to talk about because they're in a convertible, and he is not wearing a seatbelt, and Macaulay just sits on the back of the top of the seat, and then he could fall out of this car so easily. The 90s were a wild time.
They're getting away with stuff, and it's a vintage car, and it's just like,
yeah,
they're really spending a bunch of time investing in these characters, and he's like making a science fiction movie which is never carried through. There's just none of what is happening here, because he spills a Coke, none of it is getting carried through. So,
and it's not really building character for Macaulay, in my opinion, because he's not super annoying when he goes to live with Ted Danson. Then you know, he's just manipulative and blackmailing him, which is a very different scenario.
Yeah, so maybe he should have been manipulating this guy. Maybe he should have been blackmailing this guy. Go full Curly Sue on his ass.
Curly Sue is a different movie? I don't know this movie.
Curly Sue is like it's a little girl. Similar time period. I don't know what the plot of Curly Sue is. So,
okay. So you're just throwing stuff out there because for reference sake. I love it.
So our two bad guys are Carl and Bob, and then Ted's character's name is Ray.
Oh yeah.
They're setting up the coin job. We make comment about the job they screwed up is they stole a bunch of VCRs, but they stole beta instead of VHS.
Right.
Haha.
Right. I thought maybe there was going to be like more to that. And then they got 4 years in prison for that? Doesn't that feel a little extreme?
No, probably
not. No, you don't think so? For beta machines?
Grand theft, that's grand theft.
Okay. I guess Grand Theft Auto is cars. So Grand Theft can mean anything?
Grand theft is a certain level of stealing. It's like
like a number, like a monetary. I did not know this.
Yeah, Grand theft is a very specific number. I don't know the number. 10,000 is just something that came to my mind.
It could be for wrong. All the things that Grand Theft Auto, the video game, teaches you, that's not one of them.
Beating people with stuff, hitting pedestrians.
Yep. Running people over, killing randos. I mean, I learned a lot from these games, but I did not know that Grand Theft is a level of crime and not just a blanket stealing car, Grand Theft Auto. Interesting stuff.
I know a lot of stuff, Tony.
Way to go, Rockstar Games. Jeez Louise.
So, boom, Kitty, the sister, appears at the door. Is like, I just got married. I need a honeymoon. Take Timmy. Timmy's like, hi, Dad. And then they have this, schmaltzy piano music, and they stare at each other. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I had this kid for 3 years. I'll be back on Saturday. And Timmy pulls out his itinerary. I've got an itinerary of all the things we'll do. The aquarium, the Giants
When did he make
game.
This itinerary, Dan? Because this car in the beginning, where the three of them are driving, Macaulay and the two parents.
He should have been working on it, yeah.
Where are they going? Aren't they just going to drop him off at the house right now? Yeah. Okay. It's just very confusing to me.
Then they're going to Vegas.
Yeah, I get that part. I know they're going on their honeymoon or whatever, but the dad is like, not the dad, but the man in that couple is like, we shouldn't have brought him, but you're only bringing him to drop him off so you can leave him. I don't know. It's all confusing to me. It doesn't matter. Let's go back to the movie.
Maybe the new husband wanted to like induce a coma, and so then he would have been in a coma.
He'll be fine for a week or two in bed. Don't worry.
It's just a coma. Timmy like pulls out a photo. He's like, "Here, Dad. Here's a picture of me and Mom," and it's him at the grave.
At the grave, it's really fucked up. It's really weird. Not much else to say. That took me by a bit of a shock. I was like, "Holy shit, this kid's messed up.
This kid is
messed up."
Deep shit right at graveside. Graveside.
Yeah.
He explains that he's super smart. Pissed off that Dad never wrote, and then he's like, "We'll work around it." You're like, huh?
What?
Ted Danson's like, "I gotta go. Stay out of trouble." He looks through the apartment. He finds the article about the coins with a big circle mark on it. It's like,
yeah.
I wonder if I'll watch a newscast about the actual crime later on in the day.
No, I don't think so.
The heist.
Cool music. I like the bass line that they had rocking while they were doing the heist.
They distract the guards. They spray cayenne pepper in their faces. They tie them up. They drill the box. They put the stuff in the thing. Then they slide down the garbage chute and then drive
in broad daylight.
In broad daylight with no one aware.
Doing nothing.
In this building in the middle of the day, they do all of this.
You skipped two very important things here, Dan.
Oh.
First, the guys who are bringing the coins up the building, the elevator doors open and they go, I guess we're stuck on this floor. Let's walk the rest of the way up. What? It's just it just got off on the wrong floor. Just push the button and close the doors again, guys. That's how elevators work. You're not stuck on this floor. What does that mean? So those guys are bad at their jobs. That's all. That's all that we need to talk about here. They're very bad at their jobs. They think they're stuck because the elevator stopped short because someone pushed a button. Maybe our elevators new in the 90s? I guess I don't really remember.
You said two things, I think.
I said two things. All right, well, here's the second thing, Dan. Oh, the joke. It was the joke that I was going to bring up about Ted Danson takes the walkie because there's a guy downstairs as well checking on his teammates like, "Hey, guys, where are you at? You're taking a long time." And Ted Danson, the mastermind, Ray, goes, "I'm taking a dump." And then the guy's like, "Where's your partner?" He's like, "Yeah, he's taking a dump too." And the guy goes, "You're both taking a dump at the same time. That's against regulation." And I just laughed really hard at that.
Tony was like imagining the regulation book that they had to...
Somebody's making a list. They're like, they both can definitely not take a dump at the same time. No number twos. It's a single system you got to trade off.
So back at the thing, Macaulay Culkin sees the newscast and is like, I wonder. They stop at a phone booth. Yeah.
I was just going to say, 95th percentile. Kid's smart.
He's very smart, very smart. They call the fence. The fence says, I don't have the money. Call me in 6 days. Okay. Yeah. Timmy then videotapes them out the window where they're coming in with a bag. Then he watches them as they hide it on the roof. And the one guy's
video camera that he's got, by the way, is like military grade.
Oh, you mean the level of...
The zoom on that thing is unbelievable.
And like he's watching at the door, and then one of the guys thinks he's there, and then Macaulay like whoop, whoop, and he parkours and then slips under the thing. It was actually a good stunt. And it was him, wasn't it?
I mean, listen, that's the beauty of movies, right? It certainly looked like him, but I have no way of knowing.
Okay. They go to the bar. He tells them he was going to spend his money to open the bakery. Of course, Timmy at this point just goes right up there, steals the coins, takes the coins, hides the coins, sends a videotape of all the evidence to like some unknown friend that he's got to call every night, even though we only see him call him once, and has to give him a rotating password. that never comes into play again. So
Also, what does that mean? Because he's giving him the rotating password in front of the guys that are trying to steal it.
well, he ostensibly would have written out a list of passwords. This is the password that means I'm in trouble. This is the password that means I need help on Thursday, and then they're all new ones the next day. And he's gonna remember. If you tell me a number,
74.
It's just out of my brain within seconds.
I'm going to check at the end of the show.
Now, I'll remember that one because you said it to me. But
it's because you said it to me.
But if I had a list
I'm writing it down right now, Dan. If you don't remember the number at the end of the episode,
if I had a list
not much is going to happen.
7 passwords for 7 days, it would never happen. I mean, no. I'd have to make a mnemonic. I could make a mnemonic for it. You know what do you know what a mnemonic is?
Every good boy does fine. That's music.
Roy G. Biv.
Sure. Yeah. Also that.
Okay. Sends the friend the coins. Okay. Then then he basically tells them what's going on, and they're all like, "I'll kill him. No, I'll kill him."
Yeah, I'm question about that because they do threaten to kill him. Or I don't know, Leather Jacket. I can't remember his name. Is like, I'm gonna kill him. What would that accomplish? Nothing. But
Bobby.
I do like when he starts taking off his belt.
He starts taking off his belt?
He starts taking off his belt and he's like, my dad would have whooped me and that's what I'm going to do to you. And I was like, that's funny. I could see that happening. Been there, done that, took the picture.
It's funny because it's true. And so Ben, he's basically like, here's my itinerary. You have to pretend like you like me. And I'm sleeping in your bed and you're on the couch. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, premise-wise, I agree with it. I think that we should do a remake of this movie. I think it'd be a smash hit.
So they had part of the argument in a bathroom, and then there was a wino outside who heard the whole thing. And so then the wino somehow goes to the cops, and the cops basically now have the names Bob and Ray, and now the lady cop is like, oh, I looked it up.
Just figures it out.
It's these two people specifically.
Yeah.
How about we go watch them? And the boss is like,
okay.
No, actually, this is what the boss is like. That's a terrible idea. 1 second later, okay, do it.
Okay, go for it, gang. That's always my favorite.
So he calls Ted Danson calls the bakery, says, I'm taking some time off. Yeah.
He's very good, by the way, in the bakery.
Did it seem like the same bakery any
cakes.
of the times that we went to the bakery at the different times?
I don't think I was paying enough attention, to be honest with you.
The one time he's in the bakery, it just seems like it's him there. Then we get the front of the bakery, and there's a kind of Italian guy running it.
Then we have
another
there's definitely
shot
the boss guy
of the back of the bakery, and there's 20 people working.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, really. But that explains why it was so easy for him to get time off.
Yeah. When it's just him working there,
other
I was very surprised. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, he's getting time off? Weird. Okay, so kid doesn't let him smoke in the car. The cops are following them. They go to the aquarium. Hey, Bobby, look, fish. And then, of course, fish is an octopus. Octopus isn't a fish. Octopus is a cephalopod. And then they ask a guy, and he's like, that's a cephalopod. And everybody's like, oh, Macaulay Culkin is smart.
95th percentile, baby.
They go to the game. It's Bat Day. What? Yes, some more fish comments?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's go to Bat Day.
They go to Bat Day.
Because it leads into it.
They have Bat Days. The one guy comes. He puts with the food. The big dumb guy puts the ice cream sandwich underneath the hot food, and it's like, it's still cold. And the guy's like, I'm going for my own food. And then he trips on all the bats and falls down concrete stairs.
Yeah. So this is the first of the slapstick physical comedy.
Yeah.
That comes out of nowhere every time. Like it's always weird. It
Yes.
always feels inorganic, out of
Yes.
place, and there's
Yes.
no reason for it in this movie.
Yes.
I don't understand. Help me, just explain to me why it's in the movie.
Because Home Alone.
Is that because that's where my head
yeah.
went? I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
are they just trying to capitalize on Home Alone and doing a terrible job?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Someone I know on like Instagram or Facebook, one of them, I think
Okay.
Instagram,
Social media.
fell down concrete stairs, posted pictures of what happened to her. Couldn't look at the pictures; it was so horrible.
Oh,
So
yeah. I mean, my wife fell down one stair. Not even like a bunch of stairs. She fell down one stair and like bruised horribly for 2 weeks. She was like, I could barely walk on it. So if I'm falling down 3 flights of stone steps, I'm probably not getting up. No, but I do have a question. Are you a baseball guy at all? You're probably not.
I watch a little bit of baseball. You know, if World Series
It's
comes
not
around,
watching.
I'll watch
I'm
some.
curious on Bat Day if in the 90s it really was full-size bats. Because nowadays they give you like the mini bats that are like this big and adorable. These were full-size wooden bats and everybody got them. That is so expensive for Bat Day.
I don't believe. I maybe in the 40s or something, or the 50s, maybe there was full size bat days, but I don't buy that.
I feel like someone just knows that there is a Bat Day, and in their head they were like, "Yeah, everyone just gets a giant bat, right?" I don't know.
Yeah,
because I don't believe for a second. I don't think that's right.
There would be a lot of bats out there in the world from that.
So many. There's so many bats.
Introducing 50,000 bats into, a stadium a couple times a year.
And it's not just one time, right? It's multiple games in the year. I don't know. That's wild.
We used to go to basketball games and we still have, Elton Brand bobblehead. They gave out a lot of that shit.
I love that.
A lot of it.
Oh.
Okay, they go fishing. They go to the museum. They go to the Natural History Museum, where they have the animal things, and then Bobby has a fantasy moment where Macaulay Culkin's character is in one of the dioramas.
Well, it's in the endangered species. It's the endangered species diorama. So he's in his mind, he's envisioning that which is weird because technically he is an endangered species. He's one of one, right? Like he's gone and he's got. It's so weird. Just like with the slapstick comedy, it doesn't fit the rest of the movie at all. It's so awkward. And Macaulay's on all fours and like drinking out of a fake pond, I think, right? Isn't he like, I don't know. It's fucking weird, man. It is weird.
You're just like, what? You guys didn't have anything else to happen at the museum, so we needed a fantasy scene?
They needed one quote unquote joke at each of the places that they go, and they're all terrible.
We didn't have one at the fishing, did we?
Yeah, we sure did, because the two Goombas are fishing. The fat one is fishing. He goes back and he catches the other guy with the lure of somewhere. It doesn't really show where. And he's like, you got me. Hilarious fishing stuff.
Okay. Then Bobby follows him into the bathroom, is going to do anything, and then he switches, and so Bobby goes into like another kid's thing, and he sees the kid peeing, and he's like, "Dad, this man's watching me pee," and then punch in the face,
and then leave.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, Dan.
This was the 90s.
That's the 90s? Okay, because if that happens today, I'm knocking the guy out. I'm calling the police. I'm tying him up. And that guy's going to prison, okay? That is a pedophile, and he is going away for good. But no, they just kind of hit him, and it's a huge joke. It's just a really funny joke that some creepy guy's watching some kid pee. All right.
Pedophilia. Solve. Punch.
Oh, my God.
They go ice skating, and then the lady cop is watching, and she falls in love with Ted Danson right then and there.
How? Why? I must have missed something, because he's not very charming.
Ice skating.
Oh, I've never seen anyone ice skate before. This is unbelievable.
The next day, we go to the amusement park. We ride on the corkscrew. We make a music video. Carl hurts
This is the
himself
one I want to talk about, the
dancing. Then
music
they go to
video.
Raging Waters. Then they go to miniature golf. At the miniature golf, he's like,
Dan, hold on.
What? What?
We got to talk about the music video.
Oh, I'm losing you a little bit, Tony.
Are you losing me? We got to talk about the music video, Dan.
Oh, the music video? Say about the music video, Tony.
Because this is what concerns me about Macaulay Culkin.
Tell me what concerns
obviously
you.
We know how it turned out, and it's not great. He's not able to do this scene very well. He's not able to just like have fun singing a song. He's so stiff, and he's not like, you should just be like bouncing around and having fun. And he doesn't have that. I don't think he had a childhood, and it's heartbreaking in this one scene for me. And I was just, I don't know. It bummed me out because he's not just having a good time like a kid should be in this scene. And it made me think of Blank Check, and I was like, that kid is always having a good time. Like, that actor is having a blast on set, playing with toys, just goofing around, and it's just not. There's none of that here, and it's very sad to me.
When you put the stupid Blank Check kid character in a go-kart riding around, he's having fun.
He's having the time of his life. He's having a great day.
Guess we'd have to find some interviews with children who watched this movie when it was new, at that time, and see how they felt.
Sure.
If they felt like, I wish I had his life.
That would be interesting. I wish I remembered, because I would have been, 8 when I saw this? I can't do math. 9? When did this come out?
94.
94, 85. No, I was like 9, 10.
So
I was like right that age. I don't remember this whatsoever.
Well, there you go. You remember Blank Check though, right?
I do remember Blank Check. Love Blank Check. Still to this day. 10 out of 10 movie right there.
Now, did you have either of these on videotape?
I don't know if we did. I know I've seen it, which is why I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that one. But it's not one that I would have rewatched over and over.
Got it. So it did not leave an impression.
Unlike Richie Rich.
Remember
that one?
Yeah, you watched that one tons as a kid.
Watched that, and then, Blank Check, obviously.
So there were definitely movies of this time period that you would have seen as a kid, and you'd have logged into your brain like, this is a movie I need to watch again.
100%. 100%. Yeah, this isn't one of them.
Not this one. Okay, so they say, we're going to play miniature golf. If you win, I give you the coins. If I win, you got to take me to Baskin Robbins. Not really an upgrade.
Nope. I mean, I do love Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
Okay. How many flavors? There's like a billion flavors. What, 28 flavors? What is that? I don't remember what it is.
31 flavors, but
is it 31 flavors? I missed 3 times there. So sorry.
That's the number that they generally advertise.
But I love Baskin Robbins, and I love the flavor of the month. Like they do fun stuff, but that's not a fair trade.
I mean, it's just, he could just demand that anyways.
It should just be on the list already. If we're being honest, that should just be the next tick on the list.
So Danson's doing good, and then he slips in there. You know about pirates? When they hide their treasure, they write a treasure map. He says that to the stupid guy, Carl.
It's pretty funny how like easy it is to manipulate that. Like I do like that. It's funny that this kid outsmarts them and manipulates them like that. It's great.
That was the one nice piece of manipulation in the whole movie. You're like, oh, I see. Okay, it's a precursor to something that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Ted Danson hooks the shot. They lose. They figure out about the map, and so they're all like, why don't you just leave us at the apartment, and you crazy kids, go get the thing. And it was also his plan. So it was his plan to get himself alone for Ted Danson with the rest of the movie, so we don't have to deal with those idiots for the rest of the movie for the most part.
Well, we do cutaways for no reason. We're just following them for no reason.
Well, at least he gets his relationship. So they find the map. Yeah. We all know that the map is, take 20 steps here, there. We know it's completely fake. We don't know how that kid could have made that whole map, but whatever.
Yeah. The 95th percentile.
Baskin Robbins. He basically says, "You're just gonna get caught," and
Yeah.
he had to spend his whole life lying to his friends, and it's embarrassing that his dad is a felon. You're embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Would you have felt that way, Dan? I often think about this because this is like a running theme in children's in media is like, I'm ashamed of my father who's in prison.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, interesting. I feel like I would have owned that shit. Like I would have probably lied about why he's in prison. I wouldn't have said, yeah, no, I mean he stole some stuff and it's too dumb, so he got caught.
Yeah.
I'd probably say something cooler, but I don't think I'd be ashamed that he's in prison. I don't know because kids are weird. So I guess I don't know how I'd feel, but right now I wouldn't feel that way.
I'd have a hard time with it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad he wasn't then, Dan.
It's because I have a soul, Tony.
What a waste. You know what I mean? What a bunch of garbage.
So then the two cops, there's a male cop and then the lady cop, and the male cop's like, for some reason, tells her that she doesn't dress hot enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says. He calls her like a meter maid or something. Says he dresses like a meter maid, and she should dress more attractive, like the rest of women her age or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
She dresses fairly attractively, and she sort of glams it up a little more, but it's not like your transformation sort of thing.
We're not she's all thatting it right
yeah,
now.
It's really weird. It's just like another weird point. What is this? Critics? Local. Oh, okay. So they're going out. It's the next day where we're just soloing. The two guys are soloing. The other guys are all following the map. We're not going to talk about that plot line because it's terrible.
It is terrible. It's bizarre. It's weird, and it should just be cut out of the movie entirely.
He gets him a new toothbrush. As they're walking, he critiques other people's cakes in the window, like you do. Then they go to play basketball, and then
before basketball, Dan.
Yeah.
I think the nicest moment of the whole movie is right before basketball when they race to the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'll race to the corner. Macaulay starts. He's like, well, no, wait. Okay, go. And that's like the most genuine Ted Danson moment of the whole movie.
It was nice.
And it was if the rest of their interactions were that like cute and innocent, I would buy the movie.
And then the writers stepped in and we get this next scene. They're playing the basketball, and he's giving him some stuff, and then we have two aerobic, super hot girls jog through the middle of the place, which they never would jog.
No, you can't. You shouldn't be cutting across the basketball court. You would get yelled at every time.
And he catcalls them and is rude and horrible. And of course, the lady cop across the street who's in love with him sees all this.
Seems to think that it's charming somehow.
And then he's like, I'm going to teach you how to pick up girls. And then they role play, and it's fucking weird.
It's super weird. He puts the basketball under his shirt like one giant uniboob. It's all weird. I don't know.
It was not. That should have been the moment where he like talks about the mom, and it's like
has a real conversation. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm good with it. We've got the two other bozos doing the comedy. Okay, you can just leave it over there and let them have some real nice, grounded, coming together moments so that the movie means something.
This is your point where that has to start.
Yeah.
But they choose not to. Yeah. He goes to call the fence, and then Macaulay Culkin, the ball rolls into the street. Does he chase it, or does he not chase it?
He starts to chase it. He takes like a couple steps, and then the lady panics. She
freaks out, and then she goes across the street, and now we're a throuple. We're the two boys and the girl, and they just everyone. He just sees her as like This is the woman who needs to be with my dad for no
No
reason
reason.
whatsoever.
No reason at all.
He's like, nice scarf. Where'd you get it? And she's like, Sears. That was so weird. That was so weird.
Well, you don't like Sears, Dan?
Like, I don't know, man. It's just. And then he's like, you should go to coffee with us. And he's like, okay. Then we go to the coffee shop, and then they're like, what do you do? She's like, I'm a kindergarten teacher. I think kids are special. Okay, let's now go to a museum.
Right. Yeah.
She's
Well,
like,
that's enough conversation. Let's go somewhere else.
I've got a dental appointment. Let me call. And she calls the police station. I'm going on the thing to kill the man.
Yeah.
Then they go to the museum, and then Macaulay's like, she's nice. Are you ready to marry her yet?
And he basically says yes. I don't.
And then Ted Danson is charming, teaching his kid about the art of Franz Klein and pointillism.
Was he right, by the way? Because I don't know anything about anything, and I was just like, okay, I'll listen.
I don't believe either of those paintings would have been in that museum.
Sure. Yeah, that checks out.
But that was a Franz Klein, and that was a Cyril pointillist painting. I mean,
Great.
you know, and he's like, I had a cellmate who was a forger. Then he does a whole, I don't like cops.
Out of nowhere.
And you're like, oh, he knows she's a cop.
That's what you think, because there's no catalyst for him to talk about why he doesn't like cops, other than he would know that he has an inkling that she's a cop. But he doesn't. He just hates them so much, Dan, that's all he can talk about.
But he says it like in like a, I hate cops.
Yeah.
Cops.
Yep. Just nonchalant. That's just one of many interesting things about me is I hate cops. What about now? You go, Dan. So weird.
I hate the IRS. Okay. The bad guys continue looking for the stuff. The one guy gets in the dumpster. The dumpster gets dumped into the trash truck. His other friend's busy eating a hot dog. Doesn't even think to go, hey, Bobby, trash truck coming down. You're going to die.
But also, I don't know if you've ever been around when a trash truck comes down the street, Dan. You can pretty much hear it from 2 blocks away.
He was trapped in there because those wooden things fell shut.
Is that what it was? He's just trapped.
He's taking a nap. It was so comfortable in the trash can.
Like, you know what? This is actually pretty nice.
He should have ridden out the back and then gone into the next trash can.
There you go. Love that. Love that.
Unfrosted. Tim then goes and buys her the same perfume that her dead mom wears. Let's go to dinner. Do you like Italian? Of course I like Italian. That's like the ultimate question. Let's go to dinner. What do you like? Well, do you like Italian? Do you think there's a person that's like, no, fuck Italian?
I really don't like pasta at all.
They should have got.
That's a bigger red flag than the plant.
They're in San Francisco. They should go for Chinese.
Rice-A-Roni. What was it?
Chinese. There's so many Chinese restaurants.
Oh, is that? Oh, really?
San Francisco? Okay. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of the best Chinese restaurants in the country are in San Francisco. Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? I go there all the time, Dan. I've never gotten Chinese food. I mean, I mostly just eat Taco Bell while I'm up there, but I'll get Chinese food next time.
There's a whole area.
Chinatown? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole. I think it's called Chinatown there. It might have some different name, but there's a Chinatown. But it's a lot of the places are very, very popular, very hard to get into because they're always packed because they're fucking
all right.
Have been there for 100 years and they're incredible.
I'll find like the B tier Chinese food in San Francisco and I'll try that.
The idiots are still looking for the thing, following the map. And then they're like, the map is fake. And then the other guy's like, no, look, there's a cross on the church. And so then they go and think it's in the church. And then they steal the donation box. And then they get arrested and put in jail.
Well, he gets caught on fire, which is great. I don't know. It's dumb.
So Teresa is getting ready for the date, the big date. She puts on her beautiful dress and they play fairy tale music, and you're like, what?
I what? I know it's all weird. This relationship's very weird. It's very rushed. And I think people deserve second chances,
Sure.
right? For the most part. But if you're a single woman, you just met a guy, and on day one, he's like, yeah, I just got out of prison not too long ago. Maybe don't go and spend the whole day with him. Maybe. And I'm not trying to pass judgment.
Well, what you're really saying is don't just fall in love with him. Supposedly she's spending the time to try to figure it out. But the truth is,
not.
We know she is in love with him at the ice rink. Since the ice rink, she's completely in love with him.
Yeah, like hour 2 of her tailing this guy, she fell in love with him. That's bad.
The interesting thing is in 94, Ted Danson, probably one of the 10 most handsome men in America.
Sure, yeah.
In 2024, that's our year now, I look back on him and I'm like, he's not very attractive.
No, I mean, he's not ugly, but he's certainly not like a sex symbol, right? And I guess I'm wrong, because he for sure was.
Absolutely.
But no, like if that person was here now, he wouldn't be.
He would not be in any top 10 list ever. He wouldn't be anywhere.
How old is he, Dan?
100.
100. I mean, in this movie.
Oh, older.
He's probably what, like 30?
Oh, no. 30.
You think older?
30, 35. Yeah.
Okay. He looks like a 50-year-old man to me. He's so mature. It's weird.
It's not young.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm going to look it up.
In Cheers, you could kind of feel like he's a young guy.
Yeah.
But he also, he felt like he felt like as Cheers went along that he was a guy that was dating 19-year-olds and he was very old. Right? That's your feeling about that character.
100%.
He still knows how to get 19-year-olds, but it's starting to get weird.
Okay, he was born in 47. So 94, 40.
He was 47? He was 46.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Oh my God. He's
there
so
you go.
old in this.
He's older than they let him think. Okay, that's good to know.
He was old. He's old. We're all old.
He was old. I mean, yeah, we're old people.
They go out to dinner. They have a night walk. They confess. They make out. Buddies are in jail. Teresa talks to the boss, and he's all like, "The boy knows where the coins is, and he's manipulating them to try to get their dad to do blah 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 blah." Everything that's the plot.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty much spot
on. Ray is in the next morning. Ray is happy about his life. He's happy about the kid. He's happy about his toothbrush. Timmy is watching these videos of the guys getting nostalgic for the days that they've lived.
Which is just, what day do you think this is? Day 3? Day 4?
Day 3. He's already nostalgic. Remember when? Bad day.
Right. I mean...
And they show clips of things we didn't have in the movie, like
100%. Yeah,
I mean, there's happening.
The director's cut of this movie is an extra 20 minutes.
Ray's like, gotta go to work, so he goes to work just to actually go to work. I was like, where's he going? He's like, no, just going to work.
He's got to fill in for somebody, decorating cakes.
Kid looks out the window. Boom! The cops are outside. Oh no!
And he recognizes cops.
He recognizes them as cops.
Yeah. He's very smart.
They look a certain way.
Yeah.
So he takes off, and then he uses cable car, and then the underground, and then giving someone else his clothes, and he gets away.
I mean, the kid is like a spy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a super spy.
Harriet the Spy.
That's a good one.
It's the next night. Ray gets a call while at work. Tonight is the night. Go get the coins. They let the guys out of jail. For what reason, we'll never know.
Yep.
Macaulay Culkin, he comes back and he's all like, okay, Dad, I'm going to give you the key. It's me or the coins. And then he yells at the kid. and he says hateful things.
Yeah,
That was after he gave him the key?
Well, yeah, because he's like, if you go, then I'm leaving. If you use the key, I'm leaving. Because now the power is back in Ted's hands, or the choice is back in his hands. But if he makes the wrong choice, Macaulay's still going to leave.
And he's like, I want both things. I want the money and I want you, but you're a fucking little piece of shit for making me have to decide between you and the money. It's just like, it's so hateful. And like you say, Macaulay's just like, okay,
yeah, just chilling. It's like, okay.
I know it's going to work. I know you're going to pick me. I know you're going to pick me. So yells at him. He throws the plant out, almost kills Teresa with the plant. And then they go to the bus station. At the bus station, he gets the ticket. As Macaulay's leaving, he's like, thanks for teaching me how to pick up girls. Beat BTW. I don't need a hug.
Yeah. Weird moment.
And then Ted's going over there, and he's like, he's got the key in his hand. He's all like, should the keys or not the key? And then the cops are like all watching. They're like, all, don't do anything until he opens the thing.
Yeah.
And then he runs back and runs for the kid. They hug. And then Bobby shows up, and Bobby's got a gun, and he pulls out the gun, and he's like, go get me those.
And he's super shaky.
Yeah.
Why is he so he carries a gun. It's not like he found a gun and is now going to use it for the first time. Ostensibly, this guy uses a gun all the time. Why is he so nervous?
I don't know, man. Because he's pulling a gun in the middle of a busy bus station as if no one will see the gun. Yeah.
Sure, I mean, that would be pretty scary.
They pull out the money, pull out the gold, and then it turns out that it's not the gold, it's a bunch of pennies. It's the pennies that were in Ted Danson's apartment that they set up in Act 1.
Great stuff.
Act
Great
1 pennies.
writing. Great writing, guys. Kudos.
I was a little surprised.
Sure, no, it was great.
Like,
great move.
Okay, good move. So let's see what happens. So they arrest Bobby for having the gun, I guess, and they're like, "Get me the coins back," and then
they do.
They get him the coins back, and then they see her because he hid them he moved them to a bag inside a department store, and so they just go get them out of the bag.
How he did that, I have no idea.
He just walked in there and switched them out.
Great. I mean, you're telling me the thing didn't have any of those those buzzer anti-theft devices?
Well, he just poured the gold coins into the other bag.
Oh wow! Okay, I see. Okay, oh yeah, great.
He had multiples of those bags. Multiples.
I guess so. Lots of bags.
So they see the girl, and they're all like, "Oh, we should be in love," and then he's all like, "Well, maybe in a couple of years."
Because you just arrested me. Okay, great. I kind of like that they don't end up together. That's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we wasted 30 minutes of the movie trying to get them together, but that's great. It's great that they don't end up there.
And then he's like, "Let's go shoot hoops and pick up girls."
Because he's single again because he just broke up with the policewoman. So it's great.
I don't know what to say. I mean, this isn't a terrible movie.
I mean, this is just one of those movies that's like, it's like supposed to be heartfelt, and there's just zero heart.
Very
so there's not much to it. There's just it just all kind of happens, and everyone's just kind of, okay, yeah, great. What's next?
Yeah, and everybody's getting a paycheck. They're putting out another Macaulay Culkin movie. It's not offensive, but it's also not good. It's not funny, but it's not funny. It's just like right down the middle of the road. It goes out there. It makes enough money to cover the expenses and to cover the advertising. Did it? And I mean, I assume it did. And
I have no idea. I hope it did.
And nobody got fired. This is Hollywood. Do we have this Hollywood anymore?
No, because now, I mean, but in Hollywood's defense, now we make 100,000 movies.
Yeah.
So every one means a little bit more because we are out of money. We are spending all of our money. We need all that money back.
But I mean, you don't just make like a movie that you're like, this will make some money.
No, because here's like Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves came out. Phenomenal film. Absolutely great movie. Didn't make enough money, and they just scrapped sequel plans. They just scrapped the show. I don't know if you heard they were going to do a show spinoff. Scrapped that. I mean, and it's great. It's genuinely good. It just, if it doesn't make money, it's gone.
Shift into a similar let's continue this discussion. Dungeons and Dragons, great. Everybody loved it. It didn't make the money. It's going to be a cult hit forever. Everyone's going to love it forever. Everybody, what were we watching? They're going to buy. Everybody in this movie is going to get drinks bought for them for the rest of their existence.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh,
I would buy it right now.
I was watching this one. It was like a lawyer guy, and this other lawyer was in this case, and the judge threw him in jail for contempt.
Oh.
And it was the most bogus thing ever. And this guy, the one lawyer was saying that lawyer will drink forever on this story because it's such a good story. Because it's the judge being an asshole and being completely wrong. Dungeons and Dragons is a movie that everyone on that movie is going to drink forever for free because it's so good.
Yeah.
I started watching Fall Guy.
Okay. Uh-oh.
It is not that. Did you watch Fall Guy?
Oh, yeah, we've seen Fall Guy. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not like Dungeons and Dragons. You're just like...
No.
I mean, I understand why it didn't do well. Because if I went and saw that movie and somebody asked me, I'd be like...
yeah, it's okay.
Wait for the video.
Yeah, wait for the VOD, as they say.
There's no reason to see this movie in the theater. I mean, he's great, but the plot is...
He is great.
It's not a good plot. It's not the right plot. The stakes are really, really dumb. They're just, it's not a good movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's, so you can't say, cause Bad Boys 4 came out and made all the money in the world, right?
I still haven't seen it, but I want to.
And, I bet you when you see that, you're going to go see a Bad Boys movie. And Bad Boys movies are exactly what they are. And just like Fast and Furious movies are exactly what they are.
You're going to bring it up, but I love those movies.
And that's fine. Those movies, but Fall Guy didn't give you one of those movies. It just gave you a movie that you're like, I'm not excited. I don't hate the filmmakers, but I'm not excited about that movie at all.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
And you can, we could do Fall Guy. I consider that we could do Fall Guy on here. And talk about, I don't want to because I don't want to pick it apart, but it's just like I can explain to you why that's not a good movie and why it fails. Why it fails multiple tests that a good movie should pass.
Sure.
And it's like this movie. This movie fails all sorts of tests, but it's not a bad movie.
No, yeah. It's a great Father's Day movie. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everyone. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
Nah. This one's, I'm going to forget it tomorrow.
This is what I mean? An infinitely forgettable movie. It's just gone.
Which is fine. Totally fine. I'll still think about Blank Check every day of my life.
There you go. Blank Check. That said something to you. This movie should have had Tony crying.
Should have had me crying. Should have had me like wishing I was this kid with a cool dad, But nope, nothing.
Tony dreams of the prison dad.
I would love to have a prison dad. Badass, man.
And now we talk about something we like this week. We're watching it's the second season of this cop drama, Blue Lights, which is like a BBC thing. I don't know where we're watching it. One of those things.
Yeah.
Just really nice ensemble,
Ensemble.
They make classic American TV shows over there in England.
Sure.
Which they don't make them here anymore. So it's like a Hill Street Blues kind of, where it's just a bunch of characters and they're going through things and there's romances and there's danger and there's drug dealers.
Great.
You watch the procedurals now and it's just like, I tried to watch Hawaii Five-0 maybe a year or two ago, and it's just like,
Sure.
it's just like everything is overblown, and you're like, oh, please no.
Well, I mean, and then on the other side of it, you have Tracker, where everything is the opposite. Everything's like there's nothing. But
which one's
I still watch it.
Which one's Tracker?
Tracker's Justin Hartley. He finds people and things. No.
Wait,
I don't know.
That was the one that came out a while ago.
No, it just came. This was the first year just ended. Jensen Ackles played the brother for one episode, and it was incredible.
Okay, but it's not good.
No, it's not a good show. It's not a good show. I watch it because I love Justin Hartley, but every time I watch it, we just make fun of it because we're like, well, this is pretty stupid. But we love it.
I'm thinking of The Finder. Was that show?
Oh, The Finder was good. That was a spin-off of Bones, and that was a delightful show. And that only got one season. I was very disappointed in that.
A show packed with characters and interactions that are all very interesting, and the quiz are all sort of interesting, and but the Hawaii Five-0 mold that we're living in right now, just not for me.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, people love it, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the way it went. Yeah. I'll just go watch my BBC shows. Thank you.
And being BBC shows.
Oh, what do you got for us, Tony?
Well, you're going to hate my answer, but Love Island UK and Love Island USA are back for their summer seasons. It's too much TV, but it is delightful.
Terrible, terrible people.
It's just trashy. It's funny to watch both of them at the same time because the UK people, while it is trashy TV, they're not terrible people.
Sure.
But then you watch the USA ones and you're like,
really?
These are garbage people doing garbage things. And it just shows you how much worse we are as a people.
Yeah.
Which is fun because I love that. It's very fun.
At least how we cast reality shows.
Yeah. Of course. It's a generalization, but yeah, I mean it's some trashy people.
We're watching the British Gogglebox, and Danny Dyer, the daughter, were both on there. So now,
absolutely.
Like, there they are. She was
Dyer.
Not maybe the sharpest tool in the toolbox.
No, for sure not. But she was sweet,
But she seemed she seemed genuine.
At least on Love Island, she seemed very sweet. Yeah,
she's like a genuine person. Their relationship's very sweet.
Is it?
Okay. You can tell that. he would rip off a person's head or arm if
which he could do.
Oh, he would. I would not want to be that guy that wronged her. That would be a big mistake.
No, sir.
So since you made us watch a terrible kids movie.
Yes.
A slightly terrible kids movie. I'm going to make us watch another kids movie.
Why not? Double down.
And you know what I'm going to do for you, Tony?
What are you going to do for me?
I'm going to sit here in front of the computer and watch a Pixar movie.
Oh, boy. This is good. What are we watching? Come on. Give it to me.
If you're going to watch a Pixar movie, you got to watch one that's probably going to be pretty terrible.
Okay.
I'm going to have to watch one about one of the least appealing characters ever created, Buzz Lightyear, the movie Lightyear.
Oh, we didn't see this. I don't even know why. It just came and went. We never saw it. Okay, I'm very excited about this.
It's like their live-action animated reboot of Buzz. It's his real life or something.
Yeah, he's like a space ranger, right? So it's not a toy.
I don't know. It's gonna be really weird.
Well, I'm excited because is it Chris Evans that's Buzz Lightyear?
I don't know.
It's somebody famous that I enjoy a lot.
Well, surprise. It's gonna be somebody famous.
Somebody famous and somebody handsome. Yeah, it's Chris Evans. He's playing Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Which is weird to think because Tim Allen and Chris Evans not really similar in how they do things. So I'm intrigued.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be like one of those movies you watch and you're just like, what are the decisions? Why did they make these?
Why did we do this? I think that's going to be the big question is why? Why are we doing this right now?
How is, I think it's going to be one of those, why did a bunch of middle-aged men think, who did they think this was going to appeal to? I don't know.
Yep. Well, we're going to find out. I'm ready.
Find out. So that's the show. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, or maybe even leave a comment. If you made it this far, you love us.
If we had stickers, I'd give you a sticker, a gold star sticker for sticking
Gold.
around this long.
Now, did you have stickers when you were a kid in school?
No, we had grades, Dan.
But did you have stickers too?
No,
You
we didn't have
put
stickers.
the stickers on the little chart, and the more stickers you got meant something.
Not that I'm aware of. Or I just never got any stickers. That could be.
I had the feeling that's probably why my life is what it is with those stickers.
Because you got too many stickers, you didn't get enough stickers.
Oh, I got a lot of stickers. Yeah.
I got a lot of stickers.
Yeah, you're probably just blocking it out because you didn't get the stickers.
I didn't get any stickers, so that I just hated everyone that got stickers. That's probably what happened, but I couldn't tell you. The mind is a wonderful thing, Dan.
Yeah, especially when you have one.
Whoa.
Whoa. Why don't you call me old and you'll feel better, Tony?
I can't, because now you've told me to do it. It's not going to have the same impact as it usually does.
Yeah.
I'll get you next week, Dan.
And what was the number that I was supposed to remember?
I was just going to say, what's the number, Dan? Tell me. Come on, you're supposed to know it.
I'm going to guess. I'm thinking 84 or 74. Those are my guesses.
Well, you got to pick one. You're going to have to pick
80, I think it's 84.
It is 74, you senile old man. Nailed it.